Hi everyone, welcome back. It is time for May's Q&A, and thank you again to everybody who follows me on my Instagram and gave me questions. We have about 5 pages or screenshots of questions, so thank you so much. If you don't follow me on my Instagram, I will link it down below. That's where I usually post a request for questions on my stories. Let's get started. We have quite a few questions. Lux Monologue, you have 2 questions. If you could only own 5 categories of bags, what would they be? Example, travel, date night, etc. Alright, 5 categories. So definitely one for work, so a little bit more formal. One for nighttime, so a dinner bag, something that's a little bit more glamorous, really pretty, really special. I would also need an everyday bag, more of like an errands bag, something that's not too big, but at the same time enough to fit, say, like my house keys, some cards, some cash, so a smaller bag, but an errands bag, you know, easy going. Then I want one more bag for going out, so for the full day, but this is like my pretty going out bag. Maybe it's like a weekend girly bag. I'm kind of thinking like a Chanel mini rectangular where, you know, it's a little bigger than an errands bag, it's a little bit more pretty than an errands bag. And then finally, a bag for travel. But my travel bag is not like a keep-all, sort of a understated tote style bag, light, bigger. Yeah, I think those would be the 5 categories that would be good enough in my entire bag collection. Your other question, if you could only own one H quota bag and one non-quota bag, what specifications, color, size would they be and why? Oh, easy. I would own one Birkin in size 25. I'll go with Togo since it's my one and only. Probably pick a neutral color. Maybe like an Etan or an Etaupe would be a good color to go for. Then for my non-quota bag, I would go for the Lindy, and in the size 26 in Clemence leather, which is so beautiful, so hardy, just amazing. Gold hardware, and I feel like being adventurous and say a sort of green color since I already have my darker color. LWQV, 2 questions as well. First question, if you could keep only one necklace, one ring, one bracelet, and one pair of earrings, which would they be? Oh, wow, this is challenging. You know, the way I'm gonna do this is I'm gonna remove all the sentimental items, because if I say one ring, of course I should keep my wedding ring, right? So, but let's keep all those sentimental things aside. Let's talk about it from a more frivolous, my own purchases, stuff that I bought for myself that I really like. If I could keep one ring, I think I would go with, oh, you know what? Let me go and grab it. Actually, I have 2 rings here. This is the Shandong new, I think they call it the new Ferrangel ring. I also have this ring, which is a custom-made ring, a rose gold. These are not real diamonds. These are man-made diamonds. I think these are lab-grown diamonds. And then I have a watermelon tourmaline here. I made this is my very first customized ring, and oh my gosh, I love it. But I also love this because this is like Hermes and it's like so shiny. You know, I think I'm gonna go with the customized ring because it's kind of like my one and only, right? Earrings, you know what? I know some of you are gonna say this is sponsored, but it's definitely not. But I would actually really keep these ideal earrings. These are the, I think they're called the Lucia Earrings with, I'm gonna pick like a bigger stud. This pair here, wow, I just love them so much. I wear them all the time if you check all my videos, and I don't need to even justify myself. I just love them, so I'll keep this. Bracelet wise, I'm gonna go with the Cartier Love Bracelet just because it's this fancy bracelet. I wear it all the time. I get so much cost per wear from it, and it's just really nice and chunky, and it's just really, really good. So I will keep that. And then finally for the necklace, oh gosh, this is tough. So I have several. Again, I'm trying to remove all those that I have sentimental values to. I think I'm gonna keep this. So this and the ideal Lena necklace. I just removed the Lena necklace yesterday to give it a bit of clean, but I was been wearing those 2 paired up for weeks now. I feel like all my other necklaces are getting severely like neglected. But yeah, okay, so I'll keep this. Alright, so let's just keep this because these are just so beautiful. The diamonds are so white. Okay, your other question. How do you cope with being overwhelmed with luxury items, bags, jewelry? I get this all the time. I am constantly overwhelmed with my collection, which is why I took charge and started to let go of things, I think the fact that I have enabled myself to just sell it, even if I'm making a loss, just accept that I have to let it go, has kept me being less overwhelmed. Obviously, that's a bit more reactive, right? Because I purchased the items already into my collection and now I have to fix the situation. It's really healthy to let go of things, and I think I recommend if you have trouble letting go, you just need to sit yourself down and do it. Be almost ruthless about it. Another way that I find to be very helpful for me when I start to feel really overwhelmed with particularly my jewelry is that to use it. Slap it on. So I'm just gonna like wear all my rings right now. When I start to use my jewelry pieces and not just use it for one day, right? Use it for like the entire week. I find myself feeling less overwhelmed and that, you know, extensive guilt of buying so much jewelry. It really tapers down. An example would be this necklace. It was sort of an impulse purchase last year birthday. I saw it on a reseller website and then I just decided I'm gonna buy it because it was such a good price. After purchasing it, I didn't use it straight away and I started to feel this guilt because guilt and being overwhelmed, so it's kind of intertwined with each other. The more you feel guilty, then you feel overwhelmed. It goes along with each other. One of my habits is that after using it for the day, I'll take it off, I'll clean it, I'll put it back in the box because I'm this kind of character where if something is really precious, I really want it to be pristine. So one thing that I did was instead of putting it back into the box and keeping it aside, I literally left it on the tray that Amy gave me. All my jewelry just stuffed on top of it. By putting it there, I always saw it and I was like, you know what? I need to just wear it. And which is why in the past probably a few months, you just keep seeing me wear this necklace and I've grown to love it so much. I feel almost naked without one necklace now, and now I don't feel overwhelmed with this piece anymore. I just feel like it's such a good purchase. So one way to cope on top of, you know, letting go of the stuff that you don't use is to use it. Gemini Bag Ski. I'm going to Singapore in December. Your favorite restaurant save for BKC. Wow. Most restaurants are. Okay. I will tell you which restaurants you should not go for BKC, with your BKC. You shouldn't go to any Chinese restaurants that serve mala. So any kind of like hot pots, the tan yu, which I've all that's chili, because it's like being in a Korean barbecue restaurant where the fragrance and the smell and all, it just permits in the air. So it'll get onto your bag. So do not go for those restaurants. Keep them at home or at least bring a bag and like wrap it up. Second type of restaurants that you should not bring your BKC to obviously are those Korean barbecue restaurants. There are so many here. Korean barbecue is really popular. Tanjong Pagar has so many. Don't bring them there because oily, the smell, the smoke. Yeah, don't do it. I would say Japanese restaurants in Singapore are the safest place to bring your BKC. Travi Vlog, if you get offered an SO, what would it be? Color, type of bag, sizing, and why? Oh my gosh, I have been just manifesting an SO, just thinking about it, and hopefully the universe is getting my electrical signals. Firstly, I want a colored bag, so multicolor, like multicolor. Don't give me single color, and it's not that I am shaming anybody getting single color. You do you, but I, for one, I want it to be colorful. Got to have two colors up front and center. I want you to see my SO from a mile away. I want to say, this is my SO. I don't care if people say it's a status bag. Dang, I want it to be that bag. So I know. Oh my gosh, with an SO, I feel like I want it to be loud. So I want two colors, definitely, at minimum. If you can give me three, I'll do three. But alright, minimum two colors, okay? It's definitely gotta have some green. I think green goes good with grey. So I'm even contemplating green with pink. So I'm thinking green, like a deep green with grey. Or I can go the other way around. So mostly grey, but then the bright green will be around the bag. I'm thinking I want to do dev leather because I love it. But if I get the opportunity to do ostrich, I won't say no. And then finally, what bag? So this is challenging right now. So I'm in between two types of bags. I haven't decided. I feel like I want to do a mini Kelly in an SO just because it's going to be multicolor, right? And if you have a very big bag, when it's multicolor, it can look a little gaudy, and I don't want it to look gaudy, but at the same time, I do want it to stand out. So I'm really in between having something small and tight. So maybe if I do pink and green, I'll go with the mini Kelly. But if I do neutral color, so like a deep green with some light, like grease moet at the side, I'm actually considering doing a Birkin 25. You know, we'll never know until I get that opportunity and see that box and see the colors and see the swatches and just see the leather and really have that chance, because you'll never know what colors are available. Hey Miss Faye, are you still enjoying your VCA Gloss Necklace? Is it worth it for you? You know what? I don't remember revealing it on my channel. I don't think I did. Did I do an unboxing of it? I think I didn't. Yeah, I think I didn't, but for all of you who are watching right now, I did purchase the VCA Gloss Necklace in the single Alhambra. Is it sweet? No, it's not sweet Alhambra. Vintage Alhambra. Vintage size in the Gloss Gold, and I actually sold it. It didn't suit me. I bought it, was it last year? Yeah, I bought it last year. I told a few people. But I don't remember showing it on the channel. And I recently let it go. It was a little challenging to let it go because I've been wanting it for so long. I talked about it for so long. But then when I had it and tried it on my neck, it didn't work out for me. Maybe it's too big. I don't know, there's something about that pendant on my neck. It just, like, this is big, but at the same time, it's still subtle and pretty. But the gloss on my neck looked a little out of place. It could be my style, it could be the way I was dressed. Erisa, how do you decide to sell or keep your bags? They are like my children. If you don't follow Erisa, Erisa is a fairly new YouTuber, but she's been on the social media scene for a long time. I'll link her channel down below. She was one of the few, and she could be the main one that really drew me into the Chanel 22. She has amazing videos. I'll link her video down below. She has a video on her Chanel 22, and she has a video on the Chanel 22 side protectors. She even did a DIY. So anyway, back to her question. How do I decide? Well, in the beginning, every bag that I picked up, I felt the memories to it. I felt like, oh my gosh, I went through, you know, whether it was a resale market, I went through saving, I went through selling other bags. I had a lot of connection to certain bags. So initially, what I did was I tried to use the bag. I would take it out if I say, like, you know, this particular bag, I kind of know it in my gut, you know, like kind of feel that this particular bag is, maybe my love for it has waned a little bit. It's not really calling out to me. And I think most of us know it in our gut feeling. It's just that we don't trust our gut because of all that sentimental feelings that we have to the bag, the memories, the thoughts. So it does cloud our judgment a little bit. But if you feel that little, like, it's not an inkling. It starts off with an inkling, like, So for you, if you're starting out, I would say take that bag out. Take that bag out, try it out, use it for a week or two, and see how you feel with it. Does it still serve its purpose? Just from a style perspective, from what you need perspective. Does it hurt your shoulders now? Does it feel a little cumbersome? And collect all those little points and make that decision later on. But don't let your sentimental, like, oh my gosh, I bought it in Paris, I bought it in Sweden. Don't really let that hold you back. It's really more of what's practical for you now. Look at your collection, have a feel of it. And if you have a really extensive collection, I would say lay out all your bags and put them into kind of like a few piles, right? Some of the piles would be really, truly sentimental. You just cannot, like, you cannot even imagine. Those are like extreme sentimental items. Please put them aside. Don't even touch those. Then have another pile where it's sort of in between, like you're like, oh, maybe I went to some trip, or my husband gave it to me, and like, kind of like, you're not really sure. Those are like the 50-50 pile. Put that in the middle, and then you have one pile where those that you have been really thinking about, like, it's not really in my life, and maybe those have like 10% sentimental feelings or 10% of, you know, use feeling. Put those there, and then find opportunities to use this bag and use them for like a week, maybe 2 weeks, depending on how intense that feeling is. Use it, assess again, and then make the hard decision and say, you know what, I'm gonna let it go. One of the things that I realize when it comes to letting go is, for me personally, I don't know about you, but what holds me back in like letting go some bags is the resale value. Sometimes the resale value is so bad, I feel like I should just keep it. I have some bags like that, which I'm okay to keep, but I try not to keep too many of those because they can pile up really quickly, because a lot of bags doesn't make sense to sell anymore. But if you're losing some money on the bag, I always try to tell myself that it's better to at least get that money back now than lose more later on. It could be a few $100s, it could be, you know, depends, maybe you're counting at 10%, 20%, 30%. It's better to not be so like, not to say not concerned about it, but don't dive into that part so badly and that holds you back from letting go of things. It can be an excuse. So I have lost money on many of my bags, but I get so much more contentment from the lack of mental burden that I have all these unused, less loved items in my whole house. I just feel so much lighter, and really it's worth that loss of money. I don't know if that makes sense. May not be the best financial advisor, honestly, but sometimes we have just too much things, and it's better to let go and be less burdened by it. Yilu33, jewelry advice. I own a white gold Deluge 5 motif. To add a yellow gold Deluge 5 motif or a lock white gold half bangle, half pave bangle. I absolutely know the answer. I would say go with the lock white gold half pave bangle. I do like the double, sort of like a double bracelet, you know, like the both Deluge white gold and yellow gold. I think they're really beautiful, but I have seen some pictures of the Deluge white gold and with the lock white gold. It's so beautiful. Linda LBW, when are you coming to Hong Kong? Oh my gosh, girl, I was supposed to come to Hong Kong in May. I wanted to just buy a ticket and just come over and see Clara and probably come and see you as well. It's been so crazy. I was just telling Clara that I don't know if it's a pandemic, post-pandemic surge of social interactions, or me, myself, manifesting that I want to be more social. My gosh, my weekends are just packed. I have dinners almost every weekend with friends, and some of them I initiate. It's like I'm trying to fill up my weekends, but it's come to a point where I feel like I'm hosting every weekend. And it's not a bad thing, I'm not complaining. It's just that I feel like I have really blocked out my weekends. Yeah, I just couldn't find time to come to Hong Kong this month. I really love hosting friends over. I don't know, I just feel like it really fills my heart. I enjoy just meeting my friends. I love to have hot pot in the house. Maybe they'll bring hot, potluck over. And I'm really enjoying this part of it. So I don't know, the social interaction right now in May it's just insane. So I don't have a free time until June. I think maybe July. I'm trying to like squeeze one of the weekends out and just make a weekend trip. If I do, I will let you and Clara know. Candy Milk Chalk. How does your hubby feel about you buying luxury items? Is he supportive? He is supportive. He doesn't think too much about it. He's just, also I don't really tell him the price. If he knew, he knows it's expensive, but I try not to overwhelm him with, how much I buy. But at the same time, we keep our finances separate. For me, I just don't touch his money when it comes to buying all these things. So this is really me spending every single cent, and he's the opposite. He saves everything that he earns, which is good because I just spend a lot. So yeah, he is supportive. Supportive in the sense that he doesn't stop me, and I'm very mindful that whatever I spend, I don't touch his money because I think that would not be fair. Selena Sapla, hi Kat. Which one would you choose? A Cartier Pave Love Bracelet or a H Birkin 25 in Cray? I'm gonna pick the Cartier Love Bracelet, and it's pave. Oh my gosh. I still love bags, but I guess in my head I already have a Birkin 25. I don't have a Love Pave, so I think that is definitely affecting my choice. Hi everyone, it's me again. Oh my gosh, I did it again. I did my Q&A halfway, got busy, and then now it's like 11 p.m. I took a shower, had my dinner, even made myself a nice little drink. This is a bit of gin. I've got like a dried orange slice and some soda. So let's continue with this Q&A. I know, I think I did it last month as well, but it is what it is. ZHY LAJ_. Feel nervous starting H journey. Should I wait till I've saved more or spend as I go? I have to say, save more before you start. Because the initial shock of spending so much in the beginning, when you're starting to get your first bag, it's quite scary. So depending on where you are, because I don't know if you're in Singapore or Malaysia or America, I think every country does it a little bit differently. If you're here in Singapore, you can expect to spend like 1-to-1, sometimes 2-to-1. It really depends on what you're looking for, and it can be quite a bit. If you can, I would say save more first and have something that you're comfortable to spend. Because if you do the other, which is spend as you go, it's gonna feel quite heavy. If I could do it again, I think I would tell myself, hey, wait a little bit more, like really beef up that piggy bank before I jumped in. I don't regret it, but I think it would have been more emotionally better than how I felt, because I did feel like a bit of a shock, like a real sticker shock when I saw the prices on everything. I was like, wow, this is heavy. Mac Dooley. Hi Kat, will you talk about Cartier price increase? Any pieces you want to get? I'm not really familiar with the price increases. I do get a little bit of the information from my SA sometimes. My SA texted me and said, oh, they're gonna be a price increase, and I think I got like a lead time of almost 3 weeks. I did get something, so this Q&A's got a little bit of like secrets, right? I just haven't had the time to reveal it on my channel. I don't want to spoil the surprise yet, so you'll just have to wait. Miles in Sid, how do you find the balance in asking for a bag at H when you have spent 1-to-1? Ooh, interesting question. So it's sort of like, when's the right time to ask, especially if you have spent enough? My journey right now, I have been with the brand for almost 3 years. I think the balance comes from the fact that I know when was my last bag. So I got my last bag, which is my Mini Kelly, in January. A good time lapse of about 5 to 6 months is a good time to ask. It's a good time to sort of initiate the conversation and say, you know, I'm kind of itching for another bag, if you really are. And usually it's around now, so now it's May, June. It's just the time where I'll start to nudge my essay again. I said like, look, you know, there's another 6 months to the remaining year. If there's any bag that I can get in the next 6 months, please think of me. And that's how I would initiate the conversation. Not so much of just waiting until I've spent 1-to-1. Of course, if I spend 1-to-1 and it is about time, then I think the conversation obviously will be more smooth. My scenario is, since I got my Mini Kelly until today, I really haven't spent very much. I've slowed down and I don't have many unboxings on my channel. I did buy a few things. I bought a pair of shoes, which I did a leather care video. I'll link it down below, and I did reveal a pair of orange shoes. But other than that, I really haven't spent anything. Well, I did buy like a dress, which I didn't unbox on my channel. I just started to use it straight away. I think I've reached a point where I do want to share my things on my channel, but at the same time, I'm kind of lazy to do unboxings. Oh my gosh. I'm kind of lazy a little bit because I find that I want to use the thing first and then do the review. But then once I start using it, I'm like, oh no, I gotta put it back in the box. And anyway, I digress. So I did buy a few things, but definitely I'm nowhere near a 1-to-1. So if you have this scenario as well where you've not spent the 1-to-1, but time has lapsed. So in this scenario, what I would personally do is I would bring it up to my SA to say, look, it's been X months since my last bag, you know, I've got another 6 months, you know, I'm gonna work towards another bag, but please think of me when another one comes, and you know, we still got 6 months to go. If I've spent 1-to-1, let's say right after January, you know, I got my Mini Kelly, and I don't know, for some reason, you know, lots of beautiful things came in, lots of nice shoes, lots of jewelry came in, and I spent another chunk of money in a couple of months. Hermes is quite well, at least in Singapore, they're quite strict in terms of having a bit of time lapse between one bag to the next bag. I would say in that time, even though you've already spent that one-to-one, give it a bit of time and maybe don't spend anymore and just like wait maybe 1 or 2 months later, then bring it out and say, hey, actually, I think I spent enough, you know. I know it's not yet time, but maybe next month or 2 months you can look for a bag for me, but still give that gap between your last bag. So the conversation can be quite fluid. Alex Van D. Sherman, I think I butchered that. I apologize, Alex. LV monogram, too much logo or okay, especially for someone who like plain bag? What about Nano Speedy? Well, if you like a plain bag, that is your answer, that it might be a bit too much for you. If naturally you gravitate towards something that's more classic and simple and understated, then I would stay away from monogram, even if it is a Nano Speedy. Chris_Tan1111, any plans to do your empties repurchases video? Love to see people thought on what they have finished. Yes! Oh my gosh! I've got a big bag over there of all the things that I have used up and finished. I just haven't gotten to it because there are a few more things that I'm trying to finish up and put it together. So probably not in another month or two, because I still got a shampoo to finish up. I still got like 1 or 2 moisturizers to finish up, and then I will put it all together to make a video. I am Hoai_M. Hi Kat, congrats on your 25k in advance. Would like to know what is next on your H wish list. Thank you so much. Yes, I finally hit 25,000. I will link that video down below. I'm trying to avoid this word. I will put it on the screen, and obviously I will change the spelling a little bit, because every time we YouTubers say this word, the bots will come. The scam messages will come. All of you will receive a message and it will say, you know, congratulations, you have, you know, won this thing, and they'll say, call me on this number. It is obviously a scam and spam bots. I do want to do this video, which I'll put again on the screen, but I have to be really careful of using this word and using certain words that indicate this particular type of video. Oh my gosh, it's like talking in talking in clues, right? But it is a problem, which is why I think nowadays you don't see so many YouTubers do this type of videos and do this kind of thing, because we don't want our followers and our subscribers to get scammed. But I do have one, and there are 2 items in this video, upcoming video, that I want to do, and I'm still trying to figure out what's the best way to do it. It's difficult because of scams, and I don't want anyone to be scammed by any of them. Anyway, yes, if you're not subscribed and you're watching this channel video, please do subscribe, and thank you again. But yes, coming back to your question, would like to know what is next on my wish list. So I actually have been thinking about it a little bit. I feel like I've got my holy grail bags, but there are a few more bags that I want to get, and I know I'm being greedy because I'm trying to make my collection really tight. Let me just tell you the bags that I want, and I don't know in which order I really want to get it, okay? I need to get an SO in my life. I just really want a double color, triple color handbag. I do want to get another Birkin, and again, I would love to get my Lindy's 26 back into my collection. I don't know if I want a mini Lindy. I saw Amy's bag and she's influencing me, definitely. But again, it's not capturing my heart entirely. And it's not that it's not a nice bag. I just wonder, is it because I have very similar crossbody bags in my collection? So I'm putting that up there. Never say never, but it's not on priority list. And the final one, oh my gosh, I know, some bag that I sort of striked out from my list, but it's coming back again, is the Constance 24, which is the first one that comes. If I really can pick, I would go SO. CindyFun.16. For first luxe purchase, do you recommend a limited edition item or classic with low cost per wear. I'm comparing between a limited edition item, I'm assuming it's going to be high cost per wear, versus a classic item, but it's going to be low cost per wear. I'm going to be really practical and say go with the limited edition item, but you get a lot of cost per wear from it, because for a first luxe item, you want to feel like you're getting use out of it. Hey, it's Chin. When to decide which piece to buy first when building fine jewelry collection, and when do you stop? Okay, the when do you stop I'm gonna answer is never. Well, okay. We'll answer the first part. So now that I've bought a few fine jewelry pieces, if I could do it all over again, with not even my Tiffany's, not even my Cartiers, I would have gone in buying the piece that I wear the most. I didn't start off straight away buying fine jewelry, right? I always had jewelry pieces, meaning I always wore earrings, I've already tried necklaces, I've already bought bracelets. So I already know what is a preference for me. I bought a lot of necklaces in the beginning. To be honest, all those luxury necklaces, I hardly used. I should have gone straight for rings, because I've always loved rings. I love how they felt on my hand. I love just wearing 1 or 2 rings on my hand. But I started with necklaces. And then later I jumped around from bracelets to rings and never really honed into what was something that I use all the time. So if you are starting out a fine jewelry, or at least a luxury fine jewelry collection, I would go with something that I know that I would use straight away. And I keep emphasizing use because when you're starting out a collection, you want to really feel that those pieces, whether it's bag or fine jewelry, they really integrate into your lifestyle and you just can enjoy it right from the get-go. And it doesn't need to be something that is a special occasion item. Then when to stop? I think when to stop is going to be very subjective. It's probably when you know you have enough. Life with you. Recommendations on cool tone makeup. Not too gray or purple though. Do you know any Korean brands? I'm not really familiar with Korean brands. In fact, I just started to buy some Japanese makeup. Now, cool tone makeup. You know, for years and years, I've always been buying warm makeup, and this is such an interesting question, and it's a little bit of a challenge for me. Actually, you know what? I've only got one cool tone eyeshadow palette, and unfortunately it's not Korean. It's actually from Lucia Earrings, and it's her Vega eyeshadow palette. This is so beautiful. It's not too gray and it's not too purple. It's just a neutral cool tone. It's like cool tone browns, a very nice taupey color. Unfortunately it's not Korean, but this is one really nice eyeshadow palette. So anyway, let me come back to you, but this is definitely one that I love. The Vega palette from Lucia Earrings. Wonderful_blue. What is the next luxury jewelry you want to buy? There are a few, and like I said earlier, there is already one piece from Cartier. That is the next, and I've already purchased it, so I'm gonna do a unboxing reveal, and that's coming out soon. Mariantastic, how's your experience with the Rolex watch? Which one is more worth it? Luxury bags or watches? Good question. Good 2 questions. Okay, so the first, my experience with the Rolex watch. Honestly, I hardly wear it. And it's not because I don't like it. I just wear my Apple Watch so much because of my current gym-heavy lifestyle. I just gym every day. I just like catching my steps on the watch. So I have been just using my Apple Watch a lot. But on days that I feel like I want that piece of jewelry on my hand, oh, every time I wear it, I just feel so bougie. I feel just like, yeah, nice, chunky, heavy, feels good on the hand, looks gorgeous. So even though it's not a everyday watch for me, I love it. Just the feeling, the experience of using it, it's the weight, the look, the style. Oh, I love it. And which is better, right? So luxury watches or luxury bags. Right now, they're on par. Potter_cat, hi, love your channel, thank you. Have you been to Santopia on Sentosa? No, I haven't. But I do plan to go in a couple of weeks because I am going to Sentosa. So if I do get to go there, I will vlog my experience. Hello, Shark. If you could only get one Hermes bag, which one would it be, in which color and size? I'm kind of like a Birkin girl, so if I only can get one, I will go with the Hermes Birkin, size 25, Togo, and I would go for something not black, but then not a pop of color as well, so neutral. I won't mind any taupe, any tan, gris moed, I think that's gris asphalt, something grayish, but maybe on a deeper gray. So not to say I don't like black, but now that I have black, I feel like for me, I don't mind a grayish color. Or of course, the ultimate gold on gold, joyful hoarder. Would you consider exotic skin bags from Hermes? Answers yes. I am thinking about ostrich. I am not interested in things like lizard or snake skin. And honestly, though I love looking at croc, I'm not really interested. May 84, congrats Kat on your 25k, thank you. Any luxury hauls coming up? Yes. So I'm planning to do my Cartier. Maybe I'll show the Hermes dress that I got as well. I'll put it together, maybe two things, just, you know, pack them all together. So I will do that coming up. Tan CJ88, if you could only own one Chanel 22 bag or a VCA Gloss bracelet, I am going to say the VCA Gloss bracelet just because I am in a jewelry phase. But I'm going to say that the Chanel 22 bag is also a really good bag. I have used it a lot. I'm putting a lot of wear into it. I am using it the way that I imagine myself using it. Just pay that money. It's so freaking expensive. And just use the heck out of it. And because I have that mindset when I first got the bag, I'm enjoying it. I'm really, really enjoying it. I'm using it for work, for a trip that I'm going on. I'm trying not to be obsessed, looking at checking the corners, checking underneath. I'm just trying not to think about it, because I know if I start to worry, which is, I know it's a concern of the bag, then I wouldn't enjoy the bag. So I'm just truly, in a way, trashing out the trash bag. And it's been good. I'm getting a lot of use out of it, which is making me really, it's making it a bit of a challenge to answer this question, because it has been functional, but at the same time, I think jewelry compared to the Gloss bracelet, jewelry is so much more worth it than the bag, because that bag is freaking expensive. So because of that, I'm gonna pick jewelry. Closet Gem, love your skin. Thank you. What is your top beauty treatment and skincare? Oh my gosh, thank you so much, babe. I am feeling a little self-conscious about my skin right now, and I know through the camera it just looks amazing because it's just glowy, but I am going to do a video coming up where I do like a full-on like close-up, and you can see all the open pores and like spots and all. It's definitely not what you see with all this bright light shining on my skin. I am very, very self-conscious. I'm feeling a little bit not so confident about my skin in my 40s. So thank you so much. Something about that, I don't know, even though it feels fake, like a bit imposter, but thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I just feel like at least I'm doing something. Okay, but anyway, what is my top beauty treatment right now? So there are two. One is just my basic home care and what I'm trying to at least keep up as a routine. And then obviously something that I've started off this year. So the first thing that I've started off with as a routine is that I try to put a pigmentation serum on my skin every time after I wash my face. The other thing that as some home care is red light therapy. So every night now I put like a red light mask on my face just for like 10 minutes, and I find that it has really helped my skin. So those are the two things that I do at home, and I try to do it every day. Something on the side, which is obviously nothing that I can do at home, it's laser treatment. I have started doing Pico laser, and I do it every month. Linda Chin 14, no question, but just want to say I'm proud of you questioning the whole luxury branded age journey. Totally agree. Oh, thank you. I am in a little bit of a transition phase. I still love luxury, and I'm definitely not questioning myself and turning myself into a minimalist. But I am reflecting on my expenses. I'm reflecting on my choices and whether or not what I'm doing, the things that I'm doing is right. I still think it's okay because I love what I've gotten, but there is that side where I'm just not sure anymore. So thank you for watching those videos. It's a little bit contradictory because I am a luxury channel, and for me to put out those kinds of videos, I don't know, I felt like it could have hurt my channel as well. So the fact that a lot of people watched it and gave great feedback, and I got feedback that some of you are also going through it. I'm glad that once I put out those videos, I was kind of getting some stuff off my chest. Yeah, thank you for watching them. Miss Jean.P. Hi Kat, buying Hermes perfumes are counted on pre-spend? If not, which ones? Actually, everything that you buy at Hermes, except for leather bags, do count to your pre-spend. I've heard that SLGs don't count, but maybe they do as well. If you buy only SLGs, I think they probably don't count. But you gotta have a mix of everything. So makeup, clothing, perfumes, they all count. From my understanding is they do count. Just 3 more questions and we're done. ADJD, you have 2 of those questions. If given a chance, which bag did you previously sell? Would you get back, recover, and why? Oh my, great question. So many years ago, and if you follow me on Instagram, I used to own a beautiful ultramarine mini square caviar in ruthenium hardware. If I could turn back time, I would totally have not sold that bag. If Chanel also had an Hermes game, would you also play for a classic flap? The answer is no. I think Chanel has, for this generation, I think no, because there's just too many Chanel bags out there. It's still pretty easy to get a Chanel bag. I honestly don't think so. They would have to do the game for the next generation. Final question, Sasan loves. Which one do you choose? If you only can choose one, a Chanel micro bag or Mini Kelly? Easy, Mini Kelly. I mean, it's a Mini Kelly and it's Hermes, so I know. I'm so Hermes, but yeah, I go for a Mini Kelly, unfortunately, or fortunately. But anyway, those are all the questions for this month's Q&A. Thank you so much again to everyone for these questions. I had so much fun. Again, I apologize for the 2 different looks, but it is what it is, and yeah, at least I got through them. So anyway, remember to follow me on my Instagram. My Instagram handle is up here, as well as linked down below. That is where I'll post questions. So June will have another one. Please do follow my stories as well. And yeah, post your questions. Any questions. I just love doing Q&As. They're so fun. If you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribed. Hit the notification bell as well. And thank you so much for subscribing because it really helps me with my channel. And I love to have you back here as well. Anyway, everyone, please take care. Stay safe. And I will see you then. Bye.